Hello, I'm Dango Rose. Welcome to the Mountaineer Podcast, where everybody's listening. The Mountaineer brings you the latest news of the Peak to Peak region, in print, online, through our podcast, social media, and special publications. Now, listen in to the latest news of the area with our local journalists.
The song that you are currently listening to is called Understated. It's a song by Chantil Ducart from her album Lady and the Champ, which you can find wherever you get your music. She'll be performing in a duo capacity with bassist Gonzalo Tepa at the Nederland Jazz and Wine Festival very soon. Stay tuned for this episode of the Mountaineer Podcast to learn more about the festival. Hello there, everybody. My name is Jamie Lammers, and welcome to the Mountaineer Podcast, where today we're shouting out an upcoming local event for this segment of Local Events Spotlight. Before we begin, though, our preliminary promotional announcements. If you haven't subscribed to the Mountaineer yet, and you're looking for news from peak to peak, then be sure to head to the mtnear.com and click on the subscribe button in the top right corner of our homepage. From there, you'll get full access to our digital archives and scanned copies of our physical newspapers, as well as an option to send a physical subscription to your mailbox or to the mailbox of someone that you love. If you're interested in being involved in the newspaper and or the podcast in any way, shape, or form, then be sure to contact our editor-in-chief, Barbara Hardt, by emailing info@themountaineer.com or myself at media@themountaineer.com, and we'll get something sorted for you. Also be sure to head to the mtnear.com/advertise or reach out to the Mountaineer if you have any questions about advertising for the paper and or the podcast. And finally, our top story today, brought to you by Brittany Wagner.
Our top story today comes from Christopher Kelly. Nederland hosts media event on Eldora News. On Thursday, July 10th, 2025, the Nederland Board of Trustees, as well as representatives from town staff, from Powder, and from 303 Ski, gathered on stage in the Backdoor Theater at the Nederland Community Center for a work session to highlight the town having signed the letter of intent to purchase Eldora Mountain Ski Resort. The news ignited Colorado and even national media outlets and brought a flurry of cameras and reporters to the streets and businesses of Nederland on Thursday the 10th. The unanswered questions left hanging from Thursday's meeting spawned new queries, but it is clear that the community will have to wait for substantial answers and that only time will tell if Nederland's swing and a hit will be a home run or a foul ball. You can read the full story in this week's Mountaineer or at themountaineer.com.
Thank you so much, Brittany, for bringing us our top story today. And now, let's get into our local events spotlight. Our guest this time around, do you mind introducing yourself real quick?
I am Stephanie Andelman of Nederland Jazz and Wine Festival.
And we're having you come on the podcast today because the Ned Jazz and Wine Festival is coming up once again.
Yes, it is coming August 23rd. It's always the Saturday before the Saturday of our long Labor Day weekend. And it again will be in Chipeta Park from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m.
So how many years has the festival been going on for?
We are 4 years deep into this festival, and it has sold out every year. And ticket sales, strangely enough, are ahead of where they've been every other year. We are doing early bird pricing this year, and that expires midnight, July 31st. So don't wait last minute this year. Definitely get your tickets before early bird pricing is over. And then we'll sell whatever we have left, usually up to the Wednesday before the festival.
So can you talk to us a bit about the start of the Ned Jazz and Wine Festival and Ned Jazz and Wine in general?
Sure thing. Ned Jazz Wine as an organization was founded in 2022 because there was definitely a need to put something into downtown Nederland that drew people locally and from afar as a gathering place to celebrate our rich music history, to celebrate the scenic views that we are privileged enough to have every day, and the closing of summer and the transitioning of seasons. And I was inspired by a wine festival I saw elsewhere, and I saw the benefits of people coming together, interacting with vendors, learning about the winemaking process, but I knew it needed to be more here, and it needed to be as much or more about the music. And jazz and wine go so well together. But even with it being wine in the title, we have 28 vendors pouring unlimited samples, and they are not just of wine. Yes, 16 of them are wine companies, and they're all Colorado based, but we also have 6 non-alcohol companies. So you get NA beverages to sample. So you don't even have to drink alcohol to enjoy the free unlimited samples. You also have breweries and distilleries who will be there. And I came to learn in this that under the wine category are meaderies and cideries, and we have those as well.
So who's on the music lineup for this year?
So this year, our performers are in the same lineup as we've had in the past. We have a headliner that's 2 hours from 3 to 5 p.m. We have a middle act that's 12 to 2. And then we have an opener who also serves as a tweener. So each music act is 2 hours, and we just keep the music going. So for that headliner act, we have The Shape of Jazz. This is debuting at Nederland Jazz and Wine Festival. It's such a privilege. And this band has been assembled by Jeff Franca, who is best known for Thievery Corporation. He also has played on tour with members of the Grateful Dead, and he is steeped in jazz culture and jazz education. So this has always been a dream of him to focus on the jazz. And for this show, the other people playing on stage with him are Joey Porter, who we know from the Motet, Hunter Roberts, who is in a bunch of bands from strict jazz to jam bands to full out rock and roll, Matt Gelbert, who is known for talk, Nate Miller, who's a new guy on the scene, just graduated from Berklee School of Music, and he plays both the trumpet and saxophone. And then we have Scott Messersmith on percussion. So that's the headliner. I'm very excited. And so is Jeff. And Jeff and me and Scott are all neighbors. So there's a lot of talking and envisioning and how we can advance Colorado in the jazz scene, because the Colorado jazz scene is taking off and there are lots of players making their living playing locally for jazz, but we want to take it up to the next level. Our middle band is Robert Johnson and the Mark Diamond Trio. Mark Diamond is one of those guys who's playing full-time jazz in Colorado and making quite a living of it. He puts this trio plus lead singer together only a couple of times a year. And Robert Johnson is known for playing in Stevie Wonder Band. He's been on Broadway in New York City. He played with Chuck Mangione, Robert Clay, Lionel Richie, Roberta Flack. The list goes on. Oh, I should also say Donna Summer, since I love her so much. And so Mark, in addition to Robert Johnson being on vocals and his sweet melodies taking us away, it's really exciting that we have Larry Thompson on the drums. Believe it or not, he was known as the house drummer for Caribou Ranch Recording Studio right here in Nederland. So he recorded up there with Otis Taylor, John Denver, Michael McDonald, Al Cooper, Dan Fogelberg, Dr. John, and the list goes on. And And it's I cannot wait to hear him play the drums and hear his stories right alongside it. Then we have on the keys, on the piano, Victor Mestis, and he's from Venezuela. And he has been on more than 100 recordings of internationally renowned artists and Latino albums specifically, such as Julio Iglesias. And so he's made his impact in Denver, both as a teacher and a player. Then lastly, but not leastly, we have Chantal Ducard, and she's playing as a duo. She's up and coming in this scene, has been making a living for a few years here, plays internationally on keys and her voice, but she's really dedicated to staying in Denver and making her reputation here. So you'll see her on the side stage, and she's playing with Venezuelan bassist and composer Gonzalo Tapa, who has actually been to a past Ned Jazz and Wine. So we've got our mix of indigenous jazz, forward contemporary jazz, and soulful funky jazz.
So what's been great for you about organizing the festival over the last few years and seeing the community coming together to celebrate it?
It has been an honor to bring a popular festival to Nederland and be on the airwaves all over the Denver metro about Nederland and the vendors, which are local to the Western Slope for wine growing, and bring a vibe that people really enjoy. After every festival, I see so many people who know each other because they met at the festival. So you go there and you see your friends, but you make so many other friends and you learn of this jazz music. You might think you like jazz or you're not sure what it is, and you sit there and you take it in, and then you're following these people. So it's really introducing the talents of the vendors and the musicians while having this great community embracement all around you and being able to look up into the skies and see the divide and tell the person who came all the way here from downtown Denver what life is like in Nederland. So I love the exchange. And afterwards, these people depart 5 o'clock. They hit downtown Nederland. They might have to wait at many of the restaurants, but they're happy to stay here and spend their hard-earned money and drive home with a smile on their face.
And particularly this year, is there anything you hope people will take away from the Ned Jazz and Wine Festival?
This year, the festival was very lucky to bring on board some major sponsors, and every one of these sponsors has value to the people along the Peak to Peak and into the Denver greater area. We have our real estate company, Homes by Jackie Jones, but this year, alongside her, we have Allstate Insurance. It's the Harrington agency, and Tyler Harrington will be on site to answer any questions about home insurance. He's actually my home insurance company, and he specializes in mountain home insurance, which we're all scared about losing and we all need advice on. So he'll be walking around answering questions and letting you know what you can do to protect yourself and whether he might be the right fit for you. And alongside in that same group, we have Colorado Mortgage Company, and they're actually helping with some branding on our very cool design t-shirts this year. And Blue Heffner has been up here for years, and he is the guy who can get the job done and make sure if you do want to buy that you are financed. Ameristar Blackhawk Casino. Ameristar Blackhawk is sponsoring our VIP area. And this year we have 85 VIPs, which is very exciting. And we also have, because Caribou Village Shopping Center, as you leave, gets so much influx of the people, they're helping out and you'll see their branding around. And we always have to thank Eldora for working with us for the main stage sponsorship and being so critical over the years of making this festival possible, along with the Nederland Downtown Development Authority.
So how can people get tickets and learn more about the festival?
So if you want to spend a day in your camp chair, meeting people, listening to sweet sounds and trying sweet sips, along with checking out artists, vendors, jewelry vendors, cottage food vendors, and a food truck court with 5 food trucks this year, go to nedjazzwine.com. Ned for Nederland, jazzwine.com, and click on the tickets tab, and you will be able to get a GA ticket. Like I said, we will sell out before August 23rd, so get your tickets when and if you can, and always feel free to reach out through social. You can follow us at Ned Jazz Wine on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube. And I should also say that if you're a member of the public and you're with your children, because this is a 21 plus event and unfortunately no dogs, if you would like to check out the food court, it's actually on the basketball court of Chipeta Park. And we have, as I said, 5 food trucks this year, and they all have paired venues to the festival. So if you have seen them around in Denver, Boulder, or occasionally here, you'll see new menus for this special day, and everybody's invited to come up to the food trucks.
And is there anything else that you want to mention about the Ned Jazz and Wine Festival that we haven't covered yet?
Yes. So along with your 6 hours of jazz and your 46 booths to visit and your place to sit and enjoy the festival, when you walk in, you get a tote bag for any of your purchases, and you get a tasting glass, a wine glass that is commemorative for this year. It has a year on it. People have been collecting them for the last 3 years. So this is year number 4 to collect. And we also have a commemorative poster. And this year's artist is brand new. And I don't want to spill the beans. We'll be putting it on social media soon, what she has designed. It's gorgeous, and you'll want to put it up on your wall. So when you walk in, you'll be welcomed by a table of registration volunteers, and then you will get your bag, your sipping cup, and a prize ticket. And this is one of the most beneficial parts of Nederland Jazz and Wine Festival. We team up every year with a local nonprofit, and this year is Teens Inc. and their outdoor leadership programming. And so when you purchase extra prize tickets, 100% of that goes to support Teens Inc. and outdoor leadership programming. And Nederland Jazz and Wine is committed to donating at least $3,000 to this cause this year, hopefully more, based on the end numbers that we see. We believe in this cause where local teenagers are learning leadership skills in the outdoors to carry into the rest of their lives. So come team up with Nederland Jazz and Wine, Teens Inc., the 28 Colorado companies pouring you samples and telling you stories about their beverage companies, and the artists and food and the musicians who will fill your heart and soul for the rest of the summer.
Thank you so much, Stephanie, for coming on board and joining us for the podcast to promote the 4th annual Ned Jazz and Wine Festival. The Ned Jazz and Wine Festival will be hosted at Chapita Park in Nederland on Saturday, August 23rd, 2025, starting at 11 a.m. and ending at 5 p.m. To learn more about the festival and to get early bird tickets through July 31st, be sure to head to the Ned Jazz Wine website. Be sure to head to the Ned Jazz and Wine website, nedjazzwine.com. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's local event spotlight from the Mountaineer Podcast. I'll be back very soon with our Music of the Mountains segment. In the meantime, if you want to share this episode or others around with whoever you see fit, then be sure to head to the mtnear.com and scroll near to the bottom of our homepage, or head to our podcast's main hub at the mtnearpodcast.buzzsprout.com to see a full archive of all of our episodes. If you're interested in being involved in the paper and or podcast in any way, shape, or form, remember to contact info@themountaineer.com or media@themountaineer.com, and we'll get something sorted for you. And finally, for all of our most important links, be sure to check out our individual episode descriptions of the podcast or the top right side of our website homepage, where you can find links such as our Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and events calendar, where you can submit upcoming events for your venue or the community. I'll see you guys for the next episode of the Mountaineer Podcast. Have a great rest of your day.
I've grown accustomed to her face. She almost makes the day begin. I've grown accustomed to the tune that she whistles night and noon. Her smiles, her frowns, her ups, her downs are second nature to me now.
The song that you are currently listening to is called I've Grown Accustomed to Her Face. This is a jazz interpretation of the classic song from the musical My Fair Lady, sung by vocalist Robert Johnson. You can stream the album that it appears on, All Blue, along with other releases of his wherever you get your music. He'll be performing as a vocalist and a percussionist with the Mark Diamond Trio Mark Diamond on bass, Larry Thompson on drums and vocals, and Victor Mestas on keys at the Nederland Jazz and Wine Festival very soon. Be sure to see this quartet performing at Chapita Park in Nederland on Saturday, August 23rd, 2025, starting at 11 a.m. Early bird tickets are on sale through July 31st, and the festival itself is a month away. So, to learn more about the festival and get your tickets now, be sure to head to nedjazzwine.com.
I've grown accustomed to her face. She almost makes the day begin. I've grown accustomed to the tune that she whistles night and noon. Her smiles, her frowns, her ups, her downs are second nature to me now. Like breathing out and breathing in. I was sincerely independent and content before we met. Surely I could always be that way again, and yet I've grown accustomed to her look, accustomed to her voice. I've grown accustomed, Don't you know I've grown accustomed to her?
And that's it for our show. Subscribe online to get more access to more news, weekly updates to our community calendar, and a link to our YouTube channel by visiting themountaineer.com. Be sure to use the coupon code PODCAST when subscribing for a 10% discount, only available to our listeners. If you are in the local Peak-to-Peak area, be sure to pick up a print edition of The Mountaineer at a local business. I'm Dango Rose. Thank you for listening.